Welcome back to the worst movie podcast in the world. This week, we are doing Ridley Scott's classic Gladiator. Okay? Stay tuned as we battle it out in the Colosseum with our log lines. We pick apart one of the greatest films of all time, and we guess the names of 90s wrestlers. Keep listening.
And yes, Joe is very opinionated.
Yes. Keep listening and enjoy. This week, joining me in the great podcast Colosseum, I present to you as Cameron. What's your gladiator name, Cameron?
It'd have to have Cam in it somewhere, right? Like, I don't know. What?
Cam.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just
the gladiator
Cam.
Cam.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah, me.
And his opponent for the night, Dekos. What is your gladiator name?
One does not be gladiator. They are simple mule pawn. I am the king.
What?
Right. I don't know what that was.
Right.
We're gonna go straight into
Hey man,
our own show.
What's your gladiator name, Joe?
Biggie and McGee.
It would be Jorgen the Great Axe
Jorgen the
Wielder.
Great.
Jorgen the Great. Yeah.
You've never touched an axe in your life.
This week, we're not doing a logline showdown. We're doing a gladiator showdown logline battle. I just made that up on the spot.
I like that.
This is the section.
Creativity. Look at it.
This is the section where we all present in a nice little summary. It could be humorous. It could be poetic. And then we vote on who has the best log lines. So I think to start us off, Gladiator Cam.
Okay.
Let's go with you.
I have something written down, so it's no problem.
Oh,
I
wow.
wrote it down.
No, not
earlier on in the week when I watched the film. Of course, I didn't write it down on scripture. Yeah, with blood seeped from the skull of my enemies used on a little. I dipped it in a quillin, wrote it down on some scripture after my long battle, and I came up with this. Let me just clear my throat a little. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, main character of the movie, where I am the father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and managed to have my vengeance.
Wow. Concise. I like it.
It summarizes it does what we need to do.
Me and you have kind of gone with similar.
Oh, you bastard!
Similar themes here for our logline.
I have a feeling I know exactly how yours is going to start.
No. It is different. All right. Well, on that note, I'll just put myself forward next then.
Right, yeah. Toss your hat in the ring.
I have mine written down somewhere. Hold on. Bear with me. Here we go. Clear my throat as well. I saw this movie first when I was a young boy, and its brutality and beauty has stuck with me way into my adult life. As the great Maximus said, what we do in life echoes in eternity, and this cinematic masterpiece will do just that. Thank you very much. Round of applause. Caesar goes wild.
Oh, the theater goes crazy, but the Emperor doesn't like you for it though.
Damn, thumbs down.
God
damn. Okay.
No, it was good.
All right, and last but not least, Dekos, give us what you've got this week. I can't wait to hear this. I just cannot wait.
A coward dies 1,000 deaths. The gallant never tastes of death once.
What?
What are you? What nonsense are you spouting? I don't know what was that.
That's why I sort of misread that on the piece of paper I wrote it on, or on my phone that I wrote it on. To my notes.
Oh, no, parchment.
It was parchment, Dukas. Come on.
It was parchment. Come on.
Sorry, parchment.
What?
It was supposed to be the gallant never tastes of death but once, not. I forgot the.
All right. Well, that was fucking terrible. All right.
It's a haiku.
It's not a haiku. A haiku would have been well written and structured.
You know what a haiku is? None of us know what it is.
I know what a haiku is.
Tell me a haiku right now.
It's that poem style where it's like
I know,
2 syllables, 5 syllables, and 2 syllables. I'll give you an example.
Because it's poems, you don't understand it. What? You bastard!
I'm sorry. Right.
Anyway, as a gladiator, I do not have time for such literature and communication.
Yeah, well, gladiator
I don't communicate with my mouth. I communicate with my fists and whatever weapon handed before.
Oh, Deagle's
I feel like you're making less sense the more podcasts we do. I feel like you're losing your mind.
Give me a fucking pencil and what I can do.
A quill, Deacos, a quill.
A quill.
Sorry.
Anyway, here is our beautiful points board. Look how fantastic it is.
It is the most beautiful board I've ever seen.
For the first time in the history of this podcast, everyone currently owns at least 1 point.
Considering how long we've been doing this, that's insane.
I feel like tell me around episode 50 or something like that.
Oh yeah, we are.
Well, actually, to be fair, we're getting pretty close.
But
we're getting close.
Everyone else is kind of doing a lot better than some. But
I don't know what you mean.
For the first time, the board is actually full. So take that.
It's true.
Am I on?
What's that?
Who's on the highest point compared to
it is
I
Ryan.
think it's Ryan.
It is
yeah.
Ryan. But some could say that the fact Cameron owns a point holds more weight than all of Ryan's.
Can I point out that 4 of Ryan's are from a wheel spin? So
that is very true. I feel like at the end of the year, when we evaluate
as well.
When we evaluate for who wins this fantastic prize, we're gonna have to do some. I
don't even know there's a fucking prize. It's a prize. I want to actually try.
We have said from the start there's a great prize. World's best dad mug.
I would like to.
I want the world's best dad mug.
I would like to point out a couple of jokes have also been wheel spins.
No, they haven't.
Like the other week, we did a wheel spin because it was either me or you because we did the only coherent one.
Yeah, but it was also for Joker, so it had to be me. Anyway, let's get to the voting. Let's get to the voting.
Sorry.
Cameron,
start
us off.
So on the one hand, I have Joe's clearly heartfelt, childhood-inspired, heart-tugging piece.
Thank you.
And then I have the ramblings of a madman on the other. But I really... Now, it depends on what... this is my vote, so it's my opinion. And honestly, I had quite an entertaining time. No, I'm going to vote for Joe's. I was close. I was close to vote for Decos's because I was having a good chuckle. But I'll vote for yours.
People are only called a madman by men who do not understand their intelligence.
What's all these fucking quotes that he keeps spitting out every? What's
I don't
going
know
on?
where he's getting.
Speaking in riddles. All right.
I think someone written out. I think he came prepared with a list of quotes.
I would like you then to now pick your point through the form of poetic masterpiece. No?
What? Okay. He's trying to think of it. He's thinking something up.
Joe, who do you put?
Well, I feel like since Ryan is not here again, and there's only 3 of us, I think, we have to get rid of this stigma against Cameron. Because otherwise, because look, if I vote for you, Decos, I know you too well, and you'll vote Cameron, and I'll have to get a wheel that I don't know where it is, and spin it, which could be a valid route to go, or I could vote Cameron and allow you to actually decide a winning point. So I think for ease.
I don't think Decos would have caused mayhem like that. To be fair.
No, I think he
I'm pretty renowned.
Well,
okay,
the only way that the only way Digos can't cause mayhem is if I vote for him, but he was already going to vote for me. But if I vote for you, that still leaves that option there. So we'll see what he was truly going to do. So I'm going to vote for Cameron, just to leave the deciding decision up to
Decos, yeah.
Decos the Caesar. Caesar Decos. Caesar salad Decos.
Caesar Cos. He has to do thumbs down or thumbs up to both of us.
Yeah, you have to give a thumbs down. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Decos. Decide and vote.
Oh, I don't know. Peace or anarchy? It's a fine line we live on. To be tipped with just a single water drop.
Oh, for God's sake.
What is happening?
I think he enjoyed
he enjoyed Gladiator too much.
Aurelius is rambling. He is Aurelius.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's consuming him.
It is. But who's he gonna go for?
But it's entertaining to listen to.
I feel like I'm in the Colosseum now, waiting for the Caesar's vote.
As concerned I am as I am for him, I'm equally as entertained by it. So I will not act.
Don't leave us waiting any longer, Decos. Come on, cast your vote.
I choose Cameron.
Oh,
yeah.
2 weeks on the trot.
Oh, Ryan's gonna be fucking pissed.
And there we have it. Cameron has scored another point. The floodgates have really opened now. There is no.
Yes.
All the rules are out the window. He's actually managed to, from being able to get no points for maybe 30 episodes, he's now got 2 back-to-back. This is what happens when Ryan leaves us. But
give Cameron points.
Just like as Maximus wanted to take down, we've
got to get the points Caesar in now before Ryan comes back. Because when he comes back,
this is a demonstration of against Ryan.
Giving Cameron points is very political when it's a power move, okay?
Exactly.
You wave a carrot on a stick to a pig, and it will follow you anywhere.
What the fuck is that? Was it meant to me?
That? What is this?
Okay.
Why are you shouting at me?
Right. The part where everyone says what they thought about the movie and the stuff. So, what do we got? Who's seen this film before? Besides me.
I've seen like 3 or 4 times before.
It's like, I was losing faith on whether or not you guys actually had any good taste in films through doing this podcast with you.
My dad made me watch it.
What do you mean? What?
My dad made me watch it as a kid, so.
Okay.
If anything, you should be saying that about Ryan, not us.
Oh, I know. I actually really wanted him to be here for this because I would love.
Oh, he would have.
I would love to know what he thought about this film.
I can find out exactly what he thought. I can find out exactly what he thought right now. I'm hopping on. He would have watched it before. I'm going for it. Gladiator. Let's find out what Ryan thought.
If he has.
No, he hasn't seen it. He wants to watch it. He's never seen it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Before this.
There are people in this world that watched Gladiator a long time ago. There are people who've never watched it.
I'm noticing something on this Letterboxd review thing here.
What?
And I don't know if it's a prank or not, but Joe, you might be in for a rough ride today, my friend. Let's just say I've seen Decos's rating, and I'm not going to spoil what it is. We'll wait until the actual thing.
All right. Well, let's start breaking it down then. So, first thoughts: do people like this film or no? Just generally.
I think Decos should go first.
Decos, what do you think? Yeah, my interest is peaked.
I rated it before I watched it, and I can't remember what I rated it, and now I'm scared.
You gave it 1 out of 5.
No, I gave it. No. I gave it 1 out of 5 to piss you off.
Right, that makes sense.
Well, what do you actually think? Is this a film to your liking, or?
It's not like a top 10, but I really enjoy it and I love it.
Well,
I think that's fair. Yeah.
I don't think that's fair
at
all.
It's weird because seeing the meme going around about how many times do you think about the Roman Empire a day,
It's because of this film. That is why many people think about the Roman Empire.
It's made me realise how many people actually do. And yeah, it's because of this film.
I think the question should be, how many times do you think about Russell Crowe a day? And then my answer would be every day of my whole life.
Every time I see a crow.
Yeah. Instead of Mia, he just sees Russell Crowe.
Mia wears a Russell Crowe mask in bed.
How do you know? How do you know this?
Halfway through, Joe just goes, "Are you not entertained?"
Oh God.
Well,
she gets the film down.
Oh yeah, well I'll just quickly add that, you know, I think it's one of the best films of all time.
Oh really?
Hand down.
I
really? I never know.
And I'll say why. Because one, it has some of the most iconic lines and scenes ever. I mean, everyone knows, even if you don't know where it came from, everyone's heard of the term "Are you not entertained?" And that is from this film. I mean, you have to agree. I guess everyone has seen that. And then also the scene where he introduces himself to the Caesar, iconic.
Yeah.
And
it is.
And the final cherry on top, in my opinion, out of all of the films that he's made music for, I think Hans Zimmer did the best job with the music inside this film. I think it is great.
That's a hot take. That is a hot take.
That is a hot take. But
that's a hot take.
It's one. But okay, I think because you got the top ones.
I'm looking at his movies. That is a very hot take.
No. I know. No, I know. Interstellar is. I think the top three are Interstellar,
This man
Inception,
did Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, no, okay.
Oh, I'm the Dark Knight, right?
Kung Fu Panda.
Okay,
yeah, and Kung Fu Panda.
My argument is that
what? Top Gun.
Okay, no. My only reasoning is because ever since I first watched this film, that final scene, the final battle, where he dies in the end, that is a scene that has stuck with me for a long, long time. If you had to ask me, like, what's a movie scene that like is like most iconic in my head, it'll be that scene.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, it is a hot take. But to be honest, any film that Hans Zimmer makes music for, it's
hot take. It's a fucking dumbass opinion.
Well, that's just that.
No. He's allowed to have it. He's allowed to be wrong. It's fine.
All right. Well,
no. The music is really good in this. I obviously don't think it's like one of the. I don't think it's like Hans Zimmer's like best one. I think it's really good though. So I'm not dogging on it. I'm not dogging on it.
To be honest, no, you're probably right. I mean, because I like this film so much.
He said it with his chest.
Yeah,
and then he looked at his films and he went, "Oh no, maybe not."
Yeah, no, I knew the films he'd made. Because I also like it. The Inception one's one of my favorites, and the Interstellar soundtrack is one of the best of all time. But I also.
Is this your favorite film, though, Joe?
What's that?
Is this your favorite film?
What, Gladiator?
Yeah.
I'd say that this is up there with Dark Knight. But I think, but this is no. I'll say it right now. I think this is my favorite film. Because I'd put this up there with my top two favorites of all time, Gladiator and The Dark Knight. But I will say with chest that Gladiator is a better movie than The Dark Knight.
Oh.
And I think that I don't think that's much of a. I don't think that's so far fetched to say. But you know.
You're the Sith dogs, both of them. But you know.
What about everybody else? Cameron, what do you think of this film?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. I don't think there's much that I can say that's like wrong with it. I thought it was great. It was a fun time. Well, obviously not too fun, you know, when his family's getting like, you know, fucking hung and like murdered in front of him. But yeah, you get what I mean. Like, it's a great movie. It's got, as you said, iconic lines, great action, solid. Like most of the effects are pretty solid for the time. for the time. Obviously, like some of them have aged a little bit now, but
the tiger scene.
You just have to remember. It was a different time, so it's fine. It's fine. It's passable. The tiger scene in particular, yeah. The action's great. Gore's just got the right amount of gore.
It is.
It's long. It's beefy.
Well.
Jesus Christ! I think it's great. I think it's a great time. Who directed it? Was it Ridley Scott?
It was.
Oh.
Ridley Scott.
Another reason why this is a good film to watch now. November the 22nd of next year, the prequel to Gladiator will be coming in.
I can't wait. You know how long I was hoping we'd get on this. You know how long I have wished and wished. You know, they started saying rumors that there was gonna be a Gladiator 2 like 10 years ago.
Right.
And I've hoped and hoped and hoped, and now finally they've been making one. And it is
a prequel.
No, it's a sequel.
I thought it was a prequel.
No, so apparently it's going.
How the fuck are they going to do a sequel?
Well, no. So there's not loads of information about it. As far as we know, is that we know the cast of what's meant to be, and there's been like people that have took pictures of them while they've been shooting scenes and whatnot. So we know the cast of stuff.
Yeah.
Now there's a base premise that is going about, and it's going to be based around Lucius, the boy.
Boy who lives,
yeah,
come to die.
It's gonna be about him. And the only other person, I think one of the only people that's returning to Gladiator 2 from Gladiator 1 is the guy that not Russell Crowe, because he's dead. But you know the
he's come back as Mufasa.
The guy that he became friends with. What do you guys think of like the action pieces, the set pieces? Overall thoughts of that?
Shit.
I thought it was great, especially the horse chariot scene. You know, they're going around with the fucking like Beyblades and around to like do like fucking Roman military tactics to like fucking take him down. Thought it was great.
I mean, I still think that if they'd have just fucking rammed them, then, you know.
What? Ram the...
If you've got a fucking horse and a chariot charging at a couple guys holding shields, and bear in mind, they were meant to... Only a couple of them were meant to be, like, trained soldiers. The rest of them were meant to be slaves. Like, if you got a guy in a horse and a chariot with a fucking, like you said, baby...
They charge them. If they angle their shields up... they angle the shields up a little bit. They go flying over them.
I guess so, but
it'd be like a ramp. They'd make a ramp. And that's what I think. That was the strategy he was going for. I think they had a little ramp strategy going on. So the horses were scared. So they were scared. They were like, don't go too close. Don't go too close. And they was blasting them.
I just find it funny that obviously having Russell Crowe as a lead, you know, that's going to be good whatever film you put him in at the time when he was like at the height of his career. But I find it funny that they cast somebody, you know, the character he's meant to be playing is like the greatest Roman general that's ever lived and the greatest fighter that has ever lived. Okay.
Yeah.
They cast Russell Crowe, and I mean, look, he looks great in the film. I'm sure he worked out a lot. I'm sure he did a lot of stuff to prep. But then they put him in the Gladiator ring with him becoming friends with a literal Goliath fucking giant who like makes him look like a dwarf, and he's the first one to die. How is this possible?
Joe. Size isn't everything, all right? You just have to use what you've got.
This is the Roman Empire. Size is everything.
No. Skill is everything.
Okay.
Right, he was highly trained. The other guy was just some weightlifter. Like, yeah, he was bulky.
It makes you wonder how a slave is able to get fucking rich.
He was a special slave. He was given extra bread.
But there was another one. There was another guy. He was like a background character who had like a mohawk and dreads. I don't know if anyone spotted him. Who was fucking massive as well.
Because they're antagonists. They gotta make them big. They gotta make them scary.
I know. I don't know what.
So they
pump them in those goddamn.
They're pumped up for the plots. Beans and bread. That's all you need.
Beans and bread.
Beans and bread. All the protein a grown boy needs. Look at them. They grew massive. That's the strat. Anyone here wants the bulk? Beans and bread.
All right.
Follow that advice to the grave.
So no protein diet.
You don't eat... Beans have the protein you need. Packed full of them.
Depends on the beans,
what do you think he was growing in that field? Wasn't wheat. They played it off. It's actually beans. Those are bean stalks.
Beans. Okay.
all beans. In fact, the whole movie.
The secret of the Roman Empire is just about the beans.
And you guys think I'm going crazy with the podcast. You got Cameron here talking about beans. Later he'll talk about chess hands.
No, I wasn't gonna. I wasn't gonna.
100% going to.
I wasn't going. I wasn't going to. I was gonna be. I've moved on. But if you think about it, if you had some chest hands, you could use them to hold a tin of beans, and use your other hands like scoop beans out and just like
all right, enough.
them into your mouth.
Enough.
I hate you just as much as I hate prawn salads.
Oh, not the
prawn salad isn't real.
We've gone down a ditch here.
I refuse to believe prawn salad is a real thing. It's not real. It's not real. I hope it's not.
Okay, no, but there are.
I'm looking it up.
There are Caesar salads, which brings us back onto the topic of discussion. Gladiator. All right. Okay, let me ask you guys: is there anything that
prawns in the Roman Empire?
I mean, maybe fished them out.
Prawn salad is real. All right, sorry. I took us off track there. Go, Joe. Keep taking us. Keep steering.
Okay,
keep steering.
Well, I think we could sit here and talk all day about the good things. Is there anything that you felt didn't work so well in this film? Anything you didn't like?
I guess maybe it does feel a tad long. Like, I feel like maybe you could... I know it's all there. Like, everything that's there adds to the plot, right? But yeah, I'm trying to find something to critique. And because I had no issue with the time, may I add. I'm perfectly happy with a long film. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with it here. I think it serves the film quite well. But you're asking me to find a random issue. So digging into the recesses, I'm like, I know at some points in the film I can be like, okay, right, I'm waiting to get to the next bit now, but these guys are still talking. He's still like...
Yeah, I kind of agree a little bit. One of my tries with this film has always been... I would have liked to have seen... There's a lot of downtime in this film. And I get there's... They build
characters,
though.
Yeah,
it does.
Alright, I'll tell you what.
In a film about Gladiator, there are only 3 out of... They say that there's 150 days worth of games happening in honor of the Commodus's father who's just died. And yet there's only 4 scenes that involve gladiator fighting. 2 come from the slave camp, and there's only 2 actual gladiator fights in the Colosseum in this entire film, not counting the 3rd and final battle. There's the horse and chariot one, and there's the one-on-one. That is it. I would have liked to have maybe seen a bit more. I wanted to see more gladiator fights. That's one of my choices. There wasn't enough gladiator fighting.
Fair. That's fair. I like that.
They did, because I feel like, because they did touch... There was a lot of emphasis on the politics of Rome, which is great. And it was great. It was great. And it fills out a lot of things. And it makes you, you understand where the characters are coming from. But the film's called Gladiator, all right? Put me back in the Colosseum. Even if it's just like a few snippets of like in between the passing days of some battles going on. I want to see more.
Yeah. I guess you can say stuff like how it's got quite a few historical inaccuracies.
I bet it does. I haven't looked into that, but
obviously, well, the main character isn't real, so
yeah, but that can be forgiven. It is
It's a story.
Yeah.
It's an embellishment of potential events that took place. It's just, it's for our entertainment. I don't think it never gives the facade of being like 100% historically accurate. It always, I feel like from the get-go you feel like this is like a story and I'm here for the enjoyment of it. But yeah. However, where the fuck were the shit sticks?
True.
Where were the sticks with the little sponges on that they clean their asses?
They were too busy talking about goddamn politics.
They should have had a politics talking scene in a toilet where they had shit sticks and they're just cleaning their asses with it as they were like talking. Because I feel like I swear I remember reading about this somewhere that it was quite a communal event. Was like they're going for a shit at like Roman times. They'd all go for a shit. Like the boys would go for a shit. They all sit down, start chatting.
Being the
boys, just wiping each other's asses with the little sticks. Just palling around.
Don't know if they did.
I don't know. Well, one stick snapped. All right, it got stuck up there. He needed someone to help pull it out. Things got a bit messy. They got a bit crazy.
Right. Okay.
I think we can move on.
Well, I have one more personal, kind of like I think plot hole. I don't know if it's a plot hole, but I think firstly I just want to touch on. I think Joaquin Phoenix did a great job in this film.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He's just so good at playing a fucking evil person.
Maybe he was great. Way better in this than he was in Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right, Joe?
I can't wait to see him as Napoleon.
I thought this was your favorite film, Joe. So shouldn't it be your favorite Joaquin Phoenix performance?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Intriguing.
However,
I don't think this was Russell Crowe's best performance. His best performance was Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder.
That is true. That is very true.
Oh God.
Zeus and.
We should review that film.
I don't know why we haven't.
We should not. I actually don't want to watch
it. So
he doesn't want to watch it. But the goat,
I don't want to watch it.
The goats.
The goats.
No.
But yeah, no. I just wanted to add that. Why? After everything that happens, okay, and it's very clear that Maximus's character, he's the general. He's fucking worked his way up the Colosseum. He can't be beaten. Why does he challenge him to a one-on-one in the end? It makes no logical sense. Like even with a stab, I thought it'd be very obvious that because the
stab was pretty. He had to do it though.
But why?
Because if he didn't who? Oh, I'm forgetting who challenged who to the one.
Commodus challenged Maximus, and I get why, because he needed him to go, he couldn't just kill him off because the people of Rome would hate him for that. So he knew he needed to die in the Colosseum, and he thought, well, for the people to not be completely mad about it, we'll give him a one-on-one with the Caesar. But it's like he was just setting himself up for failure.
Maybe he just thought his little stab would be more debilitating than it was.
Well, stab him in the fucking leg or something so he can't move. Or stab him in the shoulder so he can't lift his arm with the sword. Come on!
I've thought about this.
Well, yeah, I have. Because it's what's he doing? He's
he thought about it too much. I think it was fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
There's times where I've really pissed Joe off. Yeah, that's why he thinks about them. There's times where I've really pissed you off. That's why you think about it.
Yeah, it does piss me off. Not necessarily because I want him to win, but I'm like, you're the fucking Caesar. You've got people around you. Surely someone would have come up with a better idea.
So that isn't how he died in real life, actually.
Oh God, I don't want a deep fact.
Moving on. Was poisoned by he was poisoned by his wife. And that failed.
His sister.
And that failed. And then he got sent to kill.
Right.
What?
Okay.
Right.
Effects and stuff. We mostly talk about this stuff. Let's start with this poster.
Yeah, the poster's shit.
The poster's pretty terrible.
It's terrible.
It looks.
What?
Yeah,
it looks like.
I'm assuming he's not.
It looks like a what? It does look like he's giant.
He looks CGI.
Oh yeah,
right?
It looks like he's.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he actually?
100%. That image is like just put onto it with a background. It's just done so poorly. It's just terrible. He's just been stuck on there. It looks like. Have you ever been to Madame Tussauds?
Yeah.
It looks like a waxwork. So I don't really know what they're thinking with this. It could be. You never know. They
maybe they didn't have him. They're like, shit, he's busy. Just build a wax.
We can't get him to arrange this date, so let's build a waxwork.
Yeah, you never know.
I mean, it's Ridley Scott. You never know.
Let's find out. Keep talking. I'll find out.
All right, Decos.
No, you don't want to find out.
Thoughts on the effects and stuff? There weren't loads, but I mean, we talked about the
tiger. There weren't loads. It's very 2000. Like it's. I want to say
when did this film come out? Actually,
2000.
Exactly 2000.
Yeah. I looked it up before saying what I said. I fact checked myself. Fun fact: it was made in the year 2000.
All right.
The release date was 12th of May, 2000. So it's older than me. Older than all of us here.
He is older than all of us, yeah.
It made $503.2 million at the box office.
Is that good?
It's alright, considering that. Most films nowadays struggle to reach 200 million. So.
That's true, actually.
Wait, what did this film get?
500 odd.
$500 million.
And that is in a different time as well, so you have to consider inflation and stuff. Like, technically, Titanic is the highest grossing film of all time. If you account for inflation. I think nowadays it would be made like 8 billion or something crazy.
Yeah, but okay, this is going on a bit of a tangent, but I've always thought that like it's harder in general for films to make more money at the box office because the box office that determines like people going to see it in the cinema. That's why it's called a box office.
Yeah.
But films are way more available. Like they get streamed like within a month or so. Like there's not actually a need. Like back when this film came out, if you wanted to watch it before buying it on a DVD, you had to go watch it in the cinema. Whereas now, you can watch like pirated versions. You know, things come out onto streaming after about a month or so. So surely films, it's harder for them to reach these big numbers at box office now anyway. Less people are going to the cinema in general. Well, actually, not many more. Actually, I think there's been a resurgence, but definitely a few years ago.
We've got a busy next month. We've got the Marvel film, and then we've got the Napoleon film. If anyone wants to see that.
What Marvel film?
The Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
You have to, Joe, for the podcast.
For the podcast, it'll be a podcast. Same as Napoleon.
Is that a good idea? Oh yeah, we'll avoid it. Anyway.
Then the Napoleon one, because that has Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon.
Oh yeah, I want to watch Napoleon. Like, sure.
Napoleon, yeah, I do want to watch that.
I do want to watch
that. There's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do.
Right. Well, is there anything else? Any standout points people want to make?
But the effects now, apart from the tiger.
The tiger, but the tigers weren't terrible though, because
no, for the time they're actually really good. How they did it.
Just got real tigers, like
they weren't CGI'd at all, but they were like there was.
It was like superimposed, like on so they filmed the two scenes separately and then put the people. It was either the people over the top of the tigers scene or the tigers over the top of the people.
And, honest, I think that is a good example of how I think that looks a hell of a lot better than some of the shit they come out with now. Like if this film was made now, they would CGI an entire to like.
Oh, it'd be like Life of Pi type situation,
and it would be awful. But I'd rather just sit. And even though I very much know that that tiger's not really behind him, but it's actual footage of a tiger, so it still looks like a fucking tiger.
It feels more real, yeah. Like how with Lord of the Rings, how they have all the most of the grandiose shots of the cities and the giant mega
miniatures.
They're all miniatures.
Wow,
they're
just not even miniatures, really, are they?
Yeah,
they're miniatures
they're
compared to the scale of they're miniatures compared to the scale of the actual cities. But I swear they were actually
they're absolutely fucking massive. Yeah, and then they just CGI little bits around them instead, rather than just CGI the whole bit. And I'm like, well, that's just better. It looks better. And that is aged beautifully in Lord of the Rings. But I think she just saw it the other day, and I watched them all in the cinemas the other day.
How was that actually? You can have
it was awesome. It was awesome. It was really cool. And watching the Battle of Helm's Deep, that thing was it was solid. It was, and that was in a cinema on a big screen. I noticed no bad weird CGI effects or anything during the whole Battle of Helm's Deep. It was great the whole time. Nothing. Obviously, there's little bits here and there that have aged a little bit. And especially noticeable on a bigger screen, in the final battle when you see little orcs running away in the background. They're all just the same model, just flailing their arms in the same pattern, but they've timed the pattern so they're flailing them slightly differently from one another. But they're all the same flail. It's great. But apart from that, it's really good.
All right. Well,
it was for the time,
note, I don't think there's anything really else to say about Gladiator.
Nah, it's not really any notable things. That's a good thing though. If you haven't noticed anything, that means it's good effects.
It shows that there's very good practical effects, especially in the fight scenes. It's very well made. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. Okay.
Next one.
Acting goat and acting stoat, where there's a section where we decide who was the acting goat, who was the best performance within the film, and who was a measly little stoat just fucking sitting there fucking scratching a fucking brick. Alright. So
what? I feel like you already know who the stoat is.
No, I don't. Let's start. We started Cameron with a log line, so let's start with Decos for this. Who's your acting goat, Decos?
Probably Joaquin Phoenix. He is
choice.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he was way better in this than he was in Joker.
Yeah. And he was way better than Heath Ledger as a Joker as well. So that's saying something.
See, but we all know that's not true, and you're just trying to get a reaction. But I've heard.
I'm sorry,
guys.
I'm sorry. I'm allowed to have an opinion.
You are okay. If that's your opinion, that's fine. I wish more people watched this so they could just fucking get at you in the comments.
No one will ever get
play the race.
Oh, actually, by the way, let's just make a quick announcement. We finally hit 40 subscribers.
Oh, we finally hit 40 for the last 20 weeks.
Little Timmy did it for us. He pushed us over the edge.
Oh, thanks, little Timmy.
So, just on the fucking tiny % chance that the person who subscribed to us is watching now, we thank you. Thank you.
I mean, they've subscribed, right? They should. They clearly want to watch all the content.
As well. Now I'm thinking about this. This is we're a few episodes behind. By the time this episode comes out, we would have hit 40 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's true.
But regardless, maybe we're on 41 by now. And if we are, I'll just say a thank you in advance.
Maybe we're on 1 million.
Oh wow!
Whoa! Here's the hope. Thanks, number 1 million. Well, remember you in our hearts. Thanks, 1 million. Yeah.
Did you say you're acting goat, Cameron?
I have not.
Okay.
I think the acting goat was Russell Crowe. I'm going with Russell Crowe.
Safe option.
That's what I'm thinking. Can I do a stoat as well? It's on the tip of my tongue. I just want to get it out there.
What's your stoat?
His wife. All she did was kind of dangle there. She didn't really give much to the role.
Oh my god, that is outrageous.
Alright, yeah, well that's mine.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I've seen better dangling.
Decos, did you want to add your stoat while we're at it?
I don't really have a stoat. No, they're all pretty solid in my head. The tiger.
Oh, I stole mine. You stole mine.
Oh.
I will agree, actually. I'll say my stoat alongside yours, and I will agree. Because I mean, that tiger was pretty shit. He even got the upper hand on Russell Crowe and jumped, like, snuck up on him, and was still unable to deal any damage. What an awfully trained tiger.
What? What a shit tiger. Couldn't even catch its food.
And then I'll just say my acting goat. I'm going to have to just go with Russell Crowe as well. Just keep it nice and simple. He did fantastic.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right. So, finally, the beautiful tier list. Look at it in all its glory. Look at.
Are we moving Megamind this week, by the way?
No, it got an S tier. No. It got S tier.
It got an S tier.
It's there. All right. Yeah. So this is how the tier list is looking.
It did not. Okay, it's fair.
From S to the void. And we're going to now go one by one and see what everyone rates this film individually, and then it will earn its place. You want me to start?
Yeah. Well, we'll look backwards.
Okay. Well,
good one, Cameron.
I don't really think I need to say much. It's very clear I'm putting this. It's getting a fucking massive S tier. All right.
Oh.
And it should fucking skyrocket to the very top of S tier.
I reckon Ryan's tier, if he watched it, would be a D tier.
Okay.
I can't just edit the letters in and post.
D-cuts?
No, we're doing it in reverse. Oh, wait, no, I am. Wait,
It is you next.
Yeah, B.
Okay.
Good film. It's not one of my favourites.
Okay.
I have others.
Right.
Look, Joe, don't look. Aliens is one of my favourite films, and look what they did to my poor boy.
Cameron, what about you?
All right. I'm thinking a solid A tier. Honestly, I'm gonna pop it in A tier. I really like it. I think I gave it 4.5 on that box, so it's pretty close to an S. It didn't. I think there's like that little. I don't think there's anything wrong with the film. I think just by my personal preference, there's just that half a star just generally just missing. There's like this sort of thing. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it,
but there could be more with it. If that makes sense.
Well, but more that would appeal to me, which is why I give it an A. I think it's an A. I do really enjoy it, and I'd happily watch it multiple times.
And with a bit of movie magic, Gladiator has secured its place on the most esteemed tier list with a very nice A tier, which
nothing wrong
with
the tier list at all.
I'm very happy with. But now we go on to the main event. The main event of the evening. What to Know with Joe. Now, I'm not going to sing the song because that's weird.
Why not?
I'll sing it myself.
I think it'd be fine. I think you can sing it.
I'm not singing it. Right.
I think you should. I'm not letting this
move forward. Where we get to know. What Joe wants to know. That's
you're right. That was weird.
That's what I want to know.
That was weird.
I have a little game for us this week. A little game. There is no prize. There's nothing if you lose. But there is a game, and I hope you take part. So, we've all just sat and watched and talked about, the great movie Gladiator. But are you aware that in the 90s, there was a TV show called Gladiators? You guys know about this?
I did not know that.
Is this the obstacle course one?
So this was a show that would base.
That's why The Rock showed up earlier, Cameron, because they've remade it with The Rock as host.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
So this show, the premise was that the general public would apply, become contestants, and they'd have to compete in a series of different games and obstacle courses against each other, but not just against each other, against the gladiators, who it was their job to pretty much make the contestants' life a nightmare and try to do everything they can to either beat them, knock them off a podium, throw shit at them. And all these gladiators had very extravagant costumes and names. And so the game this week is I'm going to read you a name of a gladiator, and then a fake name. And I want you to decide which is the real name and which is the fake one. Happy?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first two names, and you two need to decide which is the one that was real.
Okay.
Gladiator.
I'm
Gladiator Thunder or Gladiator Lightning?
I want to go with Thunder. That's more of a because lightning is Thunder's like the crackle, the intimidation after the actual lightning, and I feel like part of the gladiator's job is to be intimidating, right? Like they amp up the crowd and intimidate there first. So I'm going with Thunder.
Is that your final answer?
That's final.
Yeah.
That's locked in.
Trying to think of Roman gods.
Thumbs down from the Emperor. Thumbs down.
Bullshit.
That was lightning.
Lightning?
Yeah.
What the fuck is called lightning? Sounds like a little piss pants.
And
called
she
lightning.
was played by somebody called Kim Betts.
Okay.
Round number 2. Here are your gladiators. You decide which one was real. Gladiator Black Death or Gladiator Nightshade? Who was
I
real?
want to go with Black Death as well.
Okay, you
I think Black Death works. I think Black Death. Plus Nightshade. That's like silent and like, you have to pick it up and like eat it. Whereas like Black Death is like an unstoppable force, So I feel like a gladiator would go for that one. It's not stealthy. Like if it was like an assassin, then we call Nightshade.
Well, thumbs down from the Emperor.
What the fuck?
It was Nightshade.
What?
And she was played by Judy Simpson.
No, Joseph put all the correct answers as the second option. That's fine.
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm guessing now.
We don't know yet. We haven't.
How many more is there?
We can do one more. You want one more?
Just one more.
Okay, hold on. Let me. I'll pick a good one. I did have one, but it's gone. Okay, here we go. Who was the real gladiator? Was it Diesel or was it Zodiac?
Zodiac.
Is that your final answer?
Because they wouldn't even know what the fuck Diesel was.
Yeah, Zodiac.
Well, thumbs up from the Emperor.
He threw the right ones. It's the second one. He fucked up. You bastard.
Joe is a simple creature.
Okay, well, they're actually both gladiators. I was going to give you a point regardless. Diesel was one as well. Yeah, Diesel was one as well. All right, well, that concludes the annual gladiator quiz.
It does. I feel like my greatest mistake there was trying to apply logic to the names. I feel that I guess it didn't work.
Okay, wow. That concludes this week's episode of the Worst Movies Podcast. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. What
are we doing next week?
Next week, we are trying, yet again, to do Donkey Skin. Here it is Ryan's pick. We were meant to do it this week, but he weren't here, and we were not going to put ourselves through that. So, so maybe...
You don't want to watch it because it's in French. Who the fuck? Who watch? Why?
To be honest, none of us really want to watch this. None of us really care. But
Ryan's already seen it. So.
Yeah, of course he has. So, he's watched this, but not Gladiator.
Check out next week if you'd like to deep dive into this atrocity of a movie. But that'll be all for this week. Thank you all for listeing.
I would like. We
might be able to convince Ryan that we can watch something nice. We'll see.
Maybe. If you have,
I would like to say a quote.
Okay, say a quote.
Okay.
A quote that sums up this podcast about us talking about gladiators. Is Roman Empire themed, as the great Augustus once quoted. We found Rome a city of bricks, and we left it a city of marble.
And on that note, we shall bid our farewell. If you don't want to see Donkey Skin, please write down in the comments a movie you want us to check out.
Yeah, actually do. Please put something in the comments.
We haven't had anybody do that yet, but if you do, god damn it, we'll do it.
We have on a short once where they were bad-mouthing me because I didn't like the Mona Lisa.
That is true. So please like, subscribe, okay, and write down in the comments. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed. This has been the Worst Movie Podcast, and say goodbye, guys.
Bye. See you next week.